What is the crack? We're at Sebring this week in the F3s and the mixed multi-class. This is a really difficult track, but once you get the lines right, it's the key is being consistent. I've done a lot of practice laps trying to get a decent lap in. This one's still riddled with mistakes, including going over the white line there for the pits, but we'll let that one slide for now. Yeah, it's the lines are very important. Just stay consistent. Don't mess it up. Don't get on the sand. The way this video is going to work, I'm going to do one quick hot lap, flying lap, and then I'm going to do a slow broken down step-by-step lap, and then I'm going to go into kind of what I've done to the setup and what you need to watch out for racecraft wise. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So here we go. This is the kind of preferred line for people. It's kind of outside the cones. We're counting it as legal. There is an inner, more shallow line as well, but I would recommend just going for the outer line, sticking to that. You want to carry lots and lots of speed, get nice and wide here. I wouldn't go over the white line. I did in this lap. I was experimenting to see if it was quicker. This is my quickest lap, so maybe it did help. Down to second gear here, nice and tight to that apex. Point down here, stay in third, late apex. Don't catch that curb. I kind of messed that up a little bit, because if you get a good drive out of that last corner, you get down really fast down this straight. Keep an eye on the left hand side for between the 200 and the 150 marker. That's where you want to brake. It's down to second gear. Probably could have been a little bit tighter to the apex there. Accelerate. This is a nice quick section. And then again, look for the 150 on the left. Brake hard. Down to second gear. Late apex that. And accelerate hard, and keep in as tight as you can to the left here. I actually probably lost a couple of hundredths there by just going out a bit wide. Third gear through this corner. Don't go onto the gravel. Gravel will kill you. With my setup, fifth gear, I go all the way up into sixth. I didn't on this lap actually. Down to fourth gear. Nice and wide. Third gear, get a good run up this final straight. Slight mistake there as well. There's time to be found. So this is kind of the preferred line through the last corner. You can go slightly. I'll go into more detail on the other line that I take. It depends if I'm battling or whatever. I might experiment with the other line. And that's it, over the line for a 147.5. So let's go into a little bit more detail. So I'll start with this corner because we're going to finish with that corner. I go nice and wide, as most people will do. You kind of brake as soon as so I'm on screen, so I'm kind of using some brake markers like the edge of my screen, but really just before this cone on the left, you want to brake in a straight line and then start turning in. You go through those cones in kind of late apex here. There's a bump in the corner here. You don't want to be accelerating when you go over that bump. See that? It's a very aggressive bump. If you're accelerating, it's going to spin you right around. And you don't want to go off into that wall either, because that wall will just completely kill you. The other line for that corner, because most people are probably interested in that, is as you're coming up this straight, keep an eye on this crane in the distance, this teleporter. Once that's in view, you can go straight towards it. And once you're kind of near the wall or just slightly past the wall, you can brake hard down to fourth gear and then turn in. So it depends if you're battling with someone or if you know you're quicker than someone, the alternate line might actually help you. So again, that alternate line is keep an eye on that crane. Only when the actual van is visible underneath it, turn towards it, then brake hard in a straight line, drop 2 gears. As soon as you're down in fourth gear, commit to the corner and stay in tight to the wall. That one will probably help you. I've tested both. The tighter one is slightly slower, but the outer one is a lot more difficult. So all depends. So this one in sixth gear, you want to turn in without braking. So you can see my pedal inputs on the left. You're not braking, and just before there's a very nasty bump, just before that bump, drop it down to 5th gear. It just settles the car a little bit, and then commit to the accelerator after the bump. Then going into this corner, you've got a curb that comes up on the right. Just after that curb, there's a little cone that you want to brake just before that, all the way down to 2nd gear. So that's a decent line through there. Up to 3rd gear, brake, resist the temptation to go down into 2nd, and as much speed through here, because this is actually a relatively long section. So you want to have as much speed going through here. Now on the left, you've got markers. You've got the 250 marker, 200 marker, and you've got this little line. So just after this line between the 200 and the 150, that's where I brake hard down to 2nd gear. Ideally, you want to be slightly tighter than that. So, but I was locking up a little bit, so I drifted a little bit wide. Get nice up on that left-hand curb and accelerate as hard as you can out through here. Then you've got markers on the left, 250, 200, 150. 150 is my marker. Brake down to 2nd gear. Nice late apex. That was a pretty decent line through there. And get in as tight as you can to the left here. And again here, you've got curbs on the left. You've got a 100 marker. So you want to get just before that 100 marker. So at the 150, I guess. You want to brake hard, 3rd gear, and really be disciplined with the throttle there. You see as I go through that corner, kind of committed to the throttle, but I'm not on full throttle because it could send you just a little bit wide. Then through this corner, up nice and high in 5th gear or 6th gear, and my brake marker, I kind of do it by feeling, but it all depends really. See this WeatherTech sign on the left? That's really just after that is where you want to start braking. So is there a line on the road? Yeah, there is a line on the road. That line on the road could be your marker. 4th gear through here, carry lots of speed. Now what you ideally want to do is when you're turning left here, leave off the accelerator slightly, brake slightly, and go down into 3rd gear and go slightly wider and late apex this corner. It just allows you to get that little bit of a better run. So you would think you go straight on here, set yourself up for the curb, for the corner, but go a little bit more to the left. You can actually see the lines on the road kind of deviate out that way. So that is the preferred racing line. So you want to get into 3rd gear. I could have probably gone wider again, gotten a better run at that straight. And as you can see, I got that little bit of a wobble there, which is a bit of a balls. But as I say, it was a good lap. So here you can see my braking point is really, really late. See the cone on the left? It's pretty much just before that cone on the left. Down to 4th gear. Don't accelerate over that bump. And hard over the line. So that's it. So as far as setup goes, I have softened the suspension quite a bit. I've lowered my anti-roll bars. I've raised the suspension quite a bit because it's a very, very bumpy track. Tire pressures, what else? Nothing too major, I don't think. Camber, I've done quite a lot of camber changes, and how cool are these replays? Done quite a lot of camber changes, and yeah, that's about it. Try out my setup. Do give me feedback. See how you guys find it and what you make of it. Hopefully this will increase or improve your lap times and stuff. So yeah, that's about it for me, guys. It's approaching 2 a.m. in the morning here. Hope this track guide was worth all the effort. If you do like it, give a little like below. If this is all new to you, hit subscribe. I do these track guides every week, and hopefully this helps you guys. Cheers, chat you later.